Just suffocate.
How many points they give up? How many points they give up? We held an NBA team to 9 points in a quarter.
Oh.
9!
The Orlando Magic.
Well, is that an NBA team?
That was magic.
I just need to know, is that an NBA team? Yes or no?
Impressive.
Is that an NBA
The
team?
Toronto Raptors at home barely got to 90.
The Magic didn't even get to 90.
A big old applause.
Lock them up.
That away Anaconda O'Brien, locking them down.
We're
going to talk about it a little later.
Both of those. We have a packed show for you today. Was the Cowboys' defensive performance against the Bears the worst of any team all season? And how impressive was LeBron's sixth triple-double of the season?
Yeah. Ole Miss trip dub.
We are going to start, though, with the latest on the New England Patriots. It's being reported that the Patriots did not capture anything on the Bengals sideline from the press box that couldn't be seen on the television broadcast. It's also being reported that it was the videographer's first road game, which may have contributed to some of his confusion. The NFL is still investigating the incident, and yesterday Roger Goodell spoke on the matter. Let's take a listen to what the commissioner had to say.
You don't draw conclusions until you have all the information. So from our standpoint, I want to look at all the information. Once we have all the information, then we draw a conclusion. We're not going to draw conclusions along the way. I think the key things are the new information that we have. That information we obviously already have. But I think the issue is what information do we have from this incident?
Okay, Shannon, how will this play out?
I think I appreciate the commissioner saying they're going to do their due diligence. They're not going to rush to judgment. And he also, although it wasn't, we didn't hear that in the soundbite, Skip, he said previous history will play a role into this.
Yep.
As actually it should.
Yep.
Because you only get one time to be a first offender. You don't have that luxury if you do something and get caught again.
Nope.
And I expect this investigation to go on a little while. I think it's kind of going to be hush, at least till after. I don't think we're going to hear anything about it, Skip, say in the next week or two. But here's the thing. What you're hearing now is that what the videographer captured could have been captured at home, a TV copy, but that's not the point. If I go into the bank to rob it, yet I don't get any money, what? I've still committed an act. I've still committed a crime. Did he break the rules? Even though you could get that from TV copy, even though you could have got that if you bought a ticket inside in the stands, did he break the rules? It is a simple yes or a simple no. So, therefore,
It's one thing to get a parking ticket, and it's another to rob the bank, right?
No. Hold on. But if, Skip, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You see what they're trying to do now? Well, this was his first road trip. Let me ask you a question. I need to know, is this his first time videoing games? Has he ever done anything like this at home? See, this is my first time robbing a bank outside of my hometown, Jenny, so I don't really know the procedure. I don't know, do I handle the note? Do I just come out there with the gun? Do I say, everybody, this is a stick-up? I don't really know the procedure. Now, at home, I understand because everybody know who I am. They're just going to give me the bread and just lay it down, Skip. Stop this, Skip. Why do y'all keep doing this, making excuses?
Y'all.
Yeah, I don't know.
You, because you're making excuses. It was you yesterday that said a guy could have just bought a ticket and went to the stands. Okay, well, that's what
And gotten better video than this from way up top in the press box.
Well, that's what he should have done. But if you do it that way, it's a breaking of the rules. And so, therefore, Skip, now, we need to go back, and the NFL needs to go back. Okay, is this a one-off? Is this the first time they've done that, Cincinnati Bengals? This is the first time that they filmed someone's sideline. Does it go back 1 game, 2 games, 5 games? Has it been going on for the entirety of the season? So let me ask you a question, Skip. If this has been going on for the entirety of the season, where it can be proven that they've been videotaping the opponent's sideline, you cool with that?
Is it my turn?
No, it's not your turn.
Well, I can't even answer the question, or...
Okay. It's simple as this, Skip. They broke the rules. Now, you can get into the minutia of how importance of a rule. Skip, I don't really think driving 55 was a big deal. I mean, but the speed limit says 55. If the cops gives me a ticket at 60, I broke the rules. Did I not break the rules? As simple as that. He broke the rules. So since now we're going to break the rules, well, it's a little, come on, man, it's a little rule. It wasn't like you was going 150. The fact of the matter is, and the bylaw says you cannot film the opposing team's sideline coaches. That's the rule. They broke it. Now, if it can be traced, if they can prove it's been going on again, But the bigger thing is, can they trace it back to the head guy, Coach Belichick? And if Coach Belichick, if it can be traced back to him, at bare minimum, he must get Sean Payton's punishment, which was 1 year. That's at the bare minimum.
Okay. So you're still saying Bill Belichick should be fired for this. I just want to be clear.
He got to get, Skip, if Sean Payton, who said he knew nothing of this bounty, and Roger Goodell said you should have known because you're the head coach, at bare minimum, Bill Belichick should be suspended for a year. And considering this is a second offense, he should be fired. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I want to be clear about that.
I will try to make it crystal.
Okay, so you remember Al Capone?
Yes.
Maybe the most notorious of all the gangsters. Maybe our younger viewers won't remember this, but the almost cliche story about Al Capone is he finally got busted and was sent to prison for tax evasion. He was responsible for dozens, if not hundreds, of murders, all out, flat out, cold-blooded murders.
Correct.
And finally, they got him on tax evasion. And to me, this feels like tax evasion because to me, Bill Belichick is the Al Capone of coaches. And I've said it before, and I hate to keep beating this almost dead horse on this show, but I got little to no respect for Bill Belichick to the point that whenever we do who's the all-time greatest coach, I always tell you he's disqualified. He got busted for cheating one time. If, in fact, they deflated the footballs, which was the second big offense, he had to have something to do with that because you always tell me he knows everything down to footballs that he wets down to get ready for rain games, right?
That is correct.
So you can't tell me he didn't have a whole lot, if not everything, to do with Deflategate. And then we've had all kinds of accusations of videotaping walkthroughs on the Saturday before the first two Super Bowls from team executives on both those teams, Rams, Panthers. And we have all kinds of suspicion, runaway suspicion from even the great Peyton Manning. Locker rooms bugged at Gillette Stadium, sideline equipment jammed, signals jammed at Gillette for the visiting team.
Correct.
Well, these are all, these are like quote unquote murder offenses. You know, these are big offenses.
It just seems like a lot of coincidences happen at Gillette Stadium.
I would agree. So now we get to this. And for once, I believe that Bill Belichick, to me, is being a victim of his reputation, and he earned his reputation.
Correct.
He's now a victim of his notorious past, and it is notorious. It's proven to be notorious. So to me, this time, he's innocent as charged, but just because, as Commissioner said, and you pointed out yesterday, you're going to take the past into account. Yes, you got to take the past into account. So I believe that the upshot of all this will be, after a fairly brief review of all the above, all the information, and I know Commissioner Goodell needed to say yesterday, we are really looking into this and we're not going to rush to judgment because he wanted it. He wanted to drive home the point to the public. We are not going to dismiss this out of hand. We're not going to take one quick look and say, it's nothing. They're going to say, we're going to do a thorough review of this, and it's going to take, to your point, I don't know, a couple of weeks. They probably don't want to go past a couple of weeks because they'll want people to start to get anxious about
playoff in football, playoff and Super Bowl to be the focus of people's thoughts.
Very good point. So I believe that the Patriots will be heavily fined for this, but I don't believe that Bill Belichick himself will pay any price. Now we're back to the 2 points that Jenny broke up that were broke yesterday.
Sure.
And the first one was, this crew was a freelance crew because the crew that is full-time with the website was doing the Kansas City-New England game at home, obviously.
Right.
So these are freelancers, and the one videographer in question, this is the first time, you kept asking me this yesterday, has he done this before? And I said, I don't know.
Right.
Well, now, according to one report, I do know this was his first road game. So
No. So let me ask you a question. Does film work differently at home than the road?
No, but you asked me, has he done this on the road before?
No, I'm asking. I'm asking when I say a first time, I'm saying this is his first time operating a camera. This is his first time doing this line of work.
Okay.
So has he done something like this at home for the Patriots in Gillette Stadium?
I don't know the answer to that. All I know is this is the first time he got sent on the road because you implied yesterday that maybe they've been doing this, sending him to lots of road games under the guise of, oh, you're doing some web piece.
Right.
You know, do your job piece.
Craft production.
And I said, for all I know, From what I read, it was the first time they were do your job on the advanced scout who happened to be at Cleveland scouting Cincinnati.
Skipper, you don't mind me asking, how many guys you think are in Pelican Bay for a first-time offense?
I have
a lot of them. So just because it's your first time does not mean, Skip, you see what you're trying to do. You said, well, this is
I'm not trying to. I'm just, reciting the facts.
Okay,
I know.
Skip, be that as it may. Even if you are a first-time offender,